Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Perfect Conservative. Well, as we see the events that are unfolding before our very eyes, it's very important that we all get prepared for any future scenario, such as blackouts. We've been dealing with some cyber attacks back and forth. You guys saw the attack in Texas this past last year. That should be no indication how prepared we need to be. And basically, how I became a prepper is because of the events that took place in the summer of 2020. I'm sure all of you by now, seen what happened. So I was like, yeah, I think it's time for me to start getting the things I need and start, taking care of the ones that I love, such as my dad, whoever it may be in your family. That's the most important thing that you need to focus on, is making sure you do whatever precautions you need to do to keep you and your family safe, or people that you know. A lot of people have been called the perfect community crazy. Well, we're not so crazy now, are we? So I was seeing high gas prices, high inflation, all this other stuff. Yeah, I apologize for that. It's my refrigerator. That's just how it is. But there's some really good books out there. I got one here. It's called The First 72 Hours. I definitely encourage you to pick it up. I think it's by Prepared Patriot. I also got a but this is a very good book. I definitely encourage you guys to pick it up. I actually found this while browsing YouTube one day, and you're gonna need all the knowledge and skills at your disposal, because once this kicks off, you'll have the skills and the mindset to not only survive, but to take care of your family, which my sister's actually starting to notice what's really going on right now. I've been telling her to, I've been telling her to get prepared, and she's like, "Oh, okay, sure." And then she really started seeing the food shortages, and all the gas shortages, and all the other stuff that we're seeing. And she's like, okay, well, maybe you weren't so, This is why we prepare as preppers here. So this is called The First 72 Hours. I definitely encourage you to get it. Or any type of survival book out there. Because the more knowledge you possess, the more knowledge that you gain, the higher risk you are of surviving whatever. If it's a natural disaster, we've seen a lot of that this past year. See the tornado that hit, I think it was Tennessee, or no, Kentucky, I think. So it's always good to be prepared and have a backup plan in place, so that when a natural disaster or something like this occurs, you have a plan B. It's X, Y, Z, So the basic thing we need to develop is a plan where to meet up. I'm not going to be the one that I'm not going to try to fearmonger. I'm not saying any preppers that I watch do that. No, they give out very good information. I just want, I created this channel so that way you guys could get, the things that you need. There's a lot of other great prepper channels that I watch. If you want to learn about Canon or any of that other stuff, there's a couple of friends I know that do that. But having that preparedness, having that mindset, okay, well, we got a 72-hour window here, and I don't mean just read books. It's like, okay, I'm ready, Now, you got to execute these types of plans, because you can't just, read a book and like, okay, I know what to do. No. You got to take some action, too. I'm not saying, go overboard, because I know there's a lot of people at work right now because of, you know what. I'm not going to say it here. I know it's a lot of hard, it's very hard to get anything right now, especially with everything's increasing. Food prices are increasing. Gas has increased dramatically. As we see over the last week, it jumped up. I believe in California, it's like $9 a gallon now. But it's stuff like this that you need to have that the preparedness mindset, and we should just be ready we could be ready for anything, not just natural disasters. There's been, like I said earlier, cyber attacks. Our grid, believe it or not, is very vulnerable to cyber attack. So, not trying to fearmonger, I'm just telling you. And there's a really good, I don't know if it's a documentary or a film, it's called American Blackout. I'm sure many of you have seen that. That is the type of scenario that we could be seeing. That first week, everybody's fine with each other, everybody's, but then after a month, they start going after each other, and you know the rest. So, be prepared for that. That if the grid ever goes down, because it's gonna get ugly. Let me tell you. Having the right food, I did mention it in my introduction video yesterday. I definitely highly recommend getting My Patriot Supply and 4 Patriots. I'll actually leave the website in the description box below, so you guys can check it out. They don't just have food; they have water infiltration kits. They got all kinds of stuff. And the next thing I wanted to address is, I noticed there's a lot of preppers out there that, I'm not saying all of them do it, but showing everything they got. Don't do that. Because you don't want anybody to know what you have. Yeah, it's okay if you show off a little bit, but you don't want to show off too much, because people are gonna be hungry, and they're gonna be looking at you like, oh, okay, he's got all this. Let's go over there. No, you want to keep that on the wraps as much as you can. You don't want to give away what anything you have. I mean, that's probably the best thing to do, is just keep everything. You know what I mean? Don't let anybody know you have anything, actually. Just my personal thoughts on the whole situation. So you should definitely don't let anybody know, unless it's either your family or somebody you can trust. Next thing that we need to work on is building a community around you. Like talking with other people, other folks that are seeing what's going on too. You want to gain, a pretty good community. Start your own community. Just talk with them and ask them how they feel. Say, hey, do you need anything? Look out for each other. That's basically what I'm trying to say here. Definitely build a community with people that you could trust. Don't just put people in there without, getting to know them and all this other stuff. There's a lot of scenarios that could play out here. Everybody's talking about, this nuclear war and all this stuff. We don't know. I prefer just to keep my eyes over here, focusing on what's going on over here. I mean, yeah, we do need to pay attention to, what's going on globally. Yes, but we also got to pay attention to what's going on here too, because with these politicians are doing. You know, they could sneak stuff in, and we just won't know about it. So, yeah, always keep an open mind. Pay attention to what's going on around you. Definitely build a community that you can trust, not somebody that this is. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna no. You gotta build communities like these people I've known for over a year now that I know I could trust. You know, if we were to meet up somewhere or whatever, I could count on them. So definitely read this and definitely go out there, go out in nature, and definitely try it out. You know. And the next topic I want to get to is bugout plan. Now, a lot of preppers have been talking about, you know, bug out or bugging in or this is that good, you know. Personally, if you don't have any other option and bugging out is your only option, make sure you have a plan in place for that, or a place you could go to. So let's say your home is plan A, which is about to be, you know, by nutty people. I'm not saying, or it's being in the process of being broken into or whatever. My people are just whatever. Okay, and then you gotta establish a plan B. I'm not saying you should tell anybody where your plan B is. I definitely recommend not. You do not do that. Always share it with your family. Run drills, such as you know, pack up your bug up bag, whatever. You know, run drills every day so that way you have it implanted in your brain. So if you do have to leave the comforts of your own home, you know what to do, you know where you're going, you know, etc., etc. Because the way things are going after I seen 2020, it's only got to get worse. We see BLM and Antifa, right, causing billions of dollars of damages. That's just the scapegoat, okay, for what's coming. So, have a plan A, have a plan B, have a plan C, all the letters of the alphabet. I decided to become a prepper because, like I said earlier, because what happened in 2020, it's like, yeah, something's not right here. So I decided that, you know, getting prepared is the best thing I could do right now. I just want to thank you all for, I'm already up to 9 subscribers. That's truly amazing. Thank you guys so much for your awesome support. So get out in nature. Do some recon of your area. I don't mean like, you know, stalk people or whatever. No, that's not what I'm saying. Do some recon, you know, figure out where you could go, you know. Enough where nobody will see you, nobody will hear you, nobody will know where you're going. It's good to have these plans in place right now, instead of later, like, oh geez, we should have done this, or gee, it's always important to run drills with your family, you know. Or if you're one of those people that just want to bug in and defend whatever, hey, that's your thing, you know. But I'm talking about in the bug out situation, that if you have no choice but to leave the comforts of your own home because of home invasion or people just trying to get to you and stuff like that. So it's very important you get books like this. The first 72 hours, I actually got something else with it. Actually got like 3 copies of this, but actually that's okay though. Read it, study it, understand it. Gives you all the tools you need for first aid. What you could use. Okay, it gives you all of it. You can get all the stuff online. It teaches you how to build a storage unit. You know, stuff like that. These are the types of stuff you need to learn. But those who prep, like myself and my friends as well, teaches you how to can, all kinds of stuff. It's got all this essential tools you need. It gives you scenarios what you need to do and all this other stuff. So I definitely encourage you get this book the first 72 hours, because the first 72 hours of your survival are gotta be crucial of how you survive when HTF hits the fan, shit hits the fan. So having the knowledge, having the skills, running drills, make sure, most importantly, you're fit, because you are going to do a lot of walking around. Either if you live in a suburban area or a city, you're going to be hoofing it. And next video we're going to cover communication. Maybe. Yeah, communication. But this is just the fundamentals of having a plan in place. Read it. There's a lot of survival books out there. I suggest you grab them up if you can afford them. I don't think I paid any. The only thing I paid was shipping and handle, and that was it. But you need to know how to survive in any type of scenario, because we're seeing all this stuff going on. Yeah, everybody's been well aware of what's been going on. I do apologize for making this video long, but I figured I would do that. But I always have plan A, all the letters of the alphabet. If everything else fails, don't just have 2 plans and then be done with it, because that's not going to be the case. So, yeah. All I gotta say is prepare now, people, because what's coming down the pike is nothing. What we're seeing now is just the beginning. Okay, it's just the beginning of what's to come. And I'm not saying it's gonna happen tomorrow or we don't know. But the best thing we could do is make sure we're prepared and our family is prepared, and we have contingency in place if we have to bug out there's people that prefer to bug in. That's your prerogative. But if you're gonna have to leave the comforts of your own home, make sure you have what you need. Always have. Well, that's another thing. If you're traveling in a vehicle, make sure you have a bug-out bag in your car. Like a first aid kit, or snacks. Keep enough for you to sustain a 2,000 calorie diet. Because the human body has to have at least 2,000 calories a day. You have to consume that, so that way you can keep your energy levels up. I definitely encourage that. Stuff that's gonna, keep it going. You want stuff that's gonna give you high energy, and you don't want stuff that's just gonna slow you down and all the sugary stuff. No. Like water's good. It's got good electrolytes in it. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff out there. But thank you so much. So always have a plan B in place. Always have a plan in place in case you do have to bug out of your home. It's gotta be crappy, because you've lived there for an amount of years, and I get it. Some people gotta sit there and defend it. Well, if you got like 1,000 people at your door, it's really not much you could do. You could hunker down and hope for the best, but if you got an angry mob outside your house trying to break in, you got a problem. So I recommend getting this the first 72 hours, and I definitely recommend in case it does turn into a nuclear attack or whatever. Get what you can for that, because you're gonna need to protect your body from radiation too. So, I recommend getting a radiation suit if you can afford it. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. It's a possibility because you see the vets that's going on in Eastern Europe right now. They're good. But anyway, I tend to focus on what's going on here in my country. I let everybody else deal with their own affairs. Pretty much. But, oh, finally it cut out. I'm sorry, guys. So have a plan in place. Definitely gain as much knowledge as you can on. And don't just read books and say, oh, okay, I know what to do now. No, get out there and execute it. Take action with it. I'm not saying, I just read books and I go for walks all the time. I do a little, researching of my geographic map. Figure out where I could go. That's quick and close. And, it's, those are things you need to consider, just looking at the general area around you. You look at it on your maps or whatever, like, okay, well, this is, so always establish a plan, stick to it. Don't argue with each other. That's just gonna create more division. We're already seeing that unfold right now. There's way too much division right now. That's just do what you need to do to survive. Is basically what I'm saying. So tomorrow we're gonna discuss what other cool things, and yeah, it's gonna be up to you to make sure you're safe, not only what's around you. They could go to hell in the handbasket in 24 hours. We don't know. I mean, there's a lot of people that have been talking about blackouts for years, and we saw a lot of cyber attacks this past year. So there are many, like I said, there are many survival books out there that you can get. It's not just this one. They have military books. You can get them at any surplus store. You can get them anywhere, pretty much. But arming yourself with knowledge on how to survive is the very most important thing to keep yourself alive as long as you can. That's the name of the game. So we covered today, before I let you go, we covered today how to build a community, how to establish, talk to people you can trust, what I think you should get, having a plan A and a plan B or C, D, E, F, G. Don't just have two plans to be on. You gotta have backup after backup after backup. If all else fails, you have all these other steps you can fall back on. If that makes any sense. But anyway, thank you so much. This is the Preppy Conservative. Remember, keep preparing, and watch your six, and keep your powder dry. I'll see you guys in the next one.